Hello and welcome to Viewer Pulse. And of course, today on Viewer Pulse, we are bringing activities and the aftermath of NSAS. Of course, we all know what occurred in Nigeria around 2010-20 in Lagos and the FCT and some part of Nigeria where youths came out to protest against police brutality. And of course, with me in the studio, I have John Desmond, leader Young Professionals of Nigeria. We'll be going on a break. When we come back, Viewer Pulse continues in a moment. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Viewer Pulse on Viewer Television. And as I said earlier, the NSAS aftermath in Nigeria, what happened and how the process is still happening from the Remembrance Day memorial for those that lost their lives during the NSAS protest last year. And I'll be discussing that with a personality with me in the studio, of course, is a leader of young Nigerian professionals. I'm talking about Mr. John Desmond. Mr. John Desmond, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. John McCarthy.
How are you?
I'm fine.
How have you been?
Yes, it has been wonderful living in Nigeria and remembering the past.
So can we get to meet you?
Well, that's my name. My name is John Desmond. I'm a leader, a member of Young Professionals of Nigeria. I've been into activism, politicking, education, entrepreneur, and career development. I've been working with the Nigerian youth to see the better part of the country than what we are seeing now. One of my major advocacy is to let the youth know that this is not the true picture of Nigeria, what they are seeing, because there was a time that they heard that the country was great, and there will also come a time that they will experience this. So we've been working with the youth to understand, to let them know that better days are ahead of them. And that is what I do now, and that is why I was made leader to coordinate the activities of various youths who are interested in building this country professionally and to bring everybody on board.
So there is an umbrella that brings these wonderful professionals together. And what does this umbrella actually do, quickly, before we get into the discussion of the day?
What we do is to identify with every societal endeavor that youths are involved in terms of their career, in terms of their educations. You know, we check out, you see a lot of youths graduate as doctor, a lot of them graduate as engineer, a lot of them graduate as in different fields. So we want to look at them as how they can use that, their career, their field, to contribute to the new Nigeria that we're expecting.
So on these young professionals, can you name one of the potential professionals that can actually partake in moving Nigeria forward? When I mean partake, people that can be able to produce or to create products or machines that can actually bring source of income to Nigeria? Do you have such under your umbrella?
Yes, we have. When we say young professional, we mean the emerging class of Nigerians. So look at the entrepreneurship development that is going on among the youths. Look at the young engineers. Look at the young guys in the ICTs. Now, instead of them just leaving Nigeria, instead of them taking the way of the old generation that is, covered with corruption, we are looking at how you can diversify your knowledge for a new Nigeria.
Now, quickly, of course, we all knew what happened on the 2010-20. It was actually a level whereby Nigerian youths actually expressed a level of being denied their rights, and the level of being they ran out of patience to protest for positivity and change. Now, how has that actually changed the cycle, mode of sense of Nigerian youths?
Now, what happened in 2020, it's a beginning of a new Nigeria that we're expecting. For a very long time, the youth has not been directly involved in national discussion. But you see, due to police brutality, that the people that suffer most were the youth. They had to come out and send a signal to the government of Nigeria that, look, we can't continue like this. And the good thing about that is that government immediately heard them and disbanded that arm of police. That is a good one. So what we did in the course of that protest and what we have achieved so far is that there's a way we can talk to government and they will listen to us. And that is what that protest has achieved for us.
Now, categorically, during the EndSARS, a lot of things cropped up.
Yes.
That's when you found out that young people were like clamoring for change.
Yes, a lot of
clamoring for employment.
Yes.
They were clamoring for better life.
Yes.
They were clamoring for Nigerian government to do more.
Yes.
Now, from 2020 to date, has the government actually drew the younger generation closer to them? Or what are they actually doing? What have you observed?
Now, during the protests, my own group, that is the Young Professionals of Nigeria, we went across the country and met with the protesters. And in the course of the protest, 5 key points were sent to the president. What the president can do to salvage Nigeria from the hands of corrupt politicians or corrupt Nigerians. And I can confidently tell you that the president attempted to. 1 is local government autonomy. 2 is what we call state and judiciary autonomy. During the EndSARS protest, this was outlined and sent to the president. Now, immediately after that, the president actually did that. But the governors came back and met with the president and told him to stop the execution of the executive order that the president enacted then. Now, this is so challenging that we don't understand why the president will want what will better Nigeria, and then 37 people will say no, they are holding us hostage. We're going back to that. Now, back to your question again in the other way, that immediately after the EndSARS protest, government has not started anything directly to affect the youth. Just recently that the president said, okay, some section of youth who are in the university studying educational courses will be given some level of compensation or stipends or scholarship. Okay, but they have not opened the national youth development strategies, to bring Nigerian youth to their own country to see what they can do. We've not gotten anything since then. We even expected that the minister for youth should be somebody between the youthful age, so that we can see the real impact of the youth. But up to today, we've not seen anything.
Now, back to what you actually said. You said the government is actually footing into the request of the NSAS protest in 2020.
Yes, in the course of the request.
Now, did you think that was okay? We have the local government autonomy.
Yes, but it's not been implemented.
Yes,
the president gave executive order, and the state governors met him, and they stopped the implementation.
And the judiciary autonomy.
The judiciary. Yeah, as of today, I can tell you that not all the states has started the implementation. Over 27 states has not started this autonomy, and this is one of the things that will free Nigeria naturally from corruption, from what is holding us back.
Now, naturally, education students in the university and those in the polytechnic were given about they said 75,000 naira stipends.
They will be given
per semester. Is it per term?
No,
per semester.
It's going to be per section.
Per section.
Yes.
Then the polytechnics will be given 50,000.
Yes.
Now, how true and how genuine do you think this move is?
Well, as of this week, according to statement from the tech fund, say that money is going to be paid through. We don't need to doubt them, because before now, government has stipends for academic excellence in the university for those with 3 points, but suddenly that was stopped. So I think they are returning it back in form of this way. So that's not going to be an issue. I believe that can continue because we used to have it. During my days in the university, there was an academic excellence award of 30,000 naira for those who have 3 points and above, but that cuts across the discipline. It's not only for education, all the disciplines within the university. So we are expecting this to take off as soon as possible.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. John. We're still on Viewer Polls, and of course, I have Mr. John Desmond with me in the studio, leader young young professionals of Nigeria. Of course, we'll be going on a break. When we come back, Viewer Polls continues in a moment. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Viewer Polls, and we're discussing the aftermath of NSAS protests in Nigeria. Of course, everybody knew 2010-20. I still have John Desmond with me in the studio. Now, quickly, Mr. Desmond, now let's talk about how the local government autonomy, by the time these things are actually in effect, I see a lot of burden being on the national,
on the federal government.
Yes,
being released.
Everybody will be like if you meet every young graduate now, his plan is to work with federal government.
Yes,
and some of them don't even look at state government again. But now let's discuss how effective can local government autonomy be to the states.
See, the challenge we have in Nigeria are local challenges, and the people that can combat it are the local people. But they are powerless. How are they powerless? Number one, they don't have the resources. Number two, because of the lack of the resources, they lack strategic thinking. and no investment to even back their thinking. Therefore, what do we need to do? Implement local government autonomies today and give Nigeria the next 5 years. You will meet a new world. It's just like what happened in Poland. As of the year 2000, Poland was still a third world. But as of today, Poland has moved to emerging world. What does that mean? Because they took their destiny in their hand. The opportunity in local government, nobody is harnessing it, nobody is tapping it. Why? Because the state government has caged the local government. If you go to some states today in Nigeria, you'll be surprised that for the past 10 years, there's no election. So what we need to do is to bring the real governance to local government. Let them get their allocation directly. They have their own institution of government. They have their executive and they have their legislation. So let them face their government. If local government can get from the federal allocation what is due to them, local government can sponsor a lot of cottage industry.
So do you think now that by the time local governments are given autonomy, do you think it will checkmate corruption at the state level?
Of course. There's one thing that is leading to corruption in state that nobody asks. Have anybody asked what is what is security vote? Do we know where they get the money from security vote? 60% of local government money is what the state governments are using as free money. 60%. So if you allow local governments to operate based on what they receive, my brother, we'll have a new Nigeria within our reach in the next 10 years.
And how can that be achieved?
Now, this president has the will of the people. This is one president that has 10 million Nigeria readily available for him to follow him to anywhere he wants to take us to. So let him go ahead with his executive order and let the governor go and mobilize their own people. We will mobilize ourselves. The youth are ready. As they came out to protest against the police brutality, the youth are ready to come out and support the president for us to see the local government's autonomous in place. He has signed it. The executive order has been signed. It's the implementations that we are waiting, and that has not seen the light of the day. But Your Excellency, the President of Nigeria, the youth are ready, because that is where potentials are dying. A lot of potentials are in the local area, but nobody is touching it. The state, when last did you hear of state? Do anybody know about state scholarship? But the budgetary allocations are made for this. Then at the end of the day, they'll take peanuts to students in school. But these monies are collected from the local government fund in the name that they are going to do so.
Now, part of the answers, you being a youth leader, I believe you know that you have more information on what these young Nigerians actually want. And you said from the local government autonomy, if effective, it will actually checkmate a lot of young Nigerian youths, put them to the streamlights, and also give them employment.
Yes. A lot.
Now let's quickly take a look at the scheme that government brought, the issue of the SMEDs. SMSD. I beg your pardon. Thank you.
Small and medium scale
businesses. You know, it's part of the request from young Nigerians. Yes. Now, for I've been hearing that since from the beginning of this administration.
Yes.
Now, so far so good. I'm a young Nigerian too, and I need to know, and I deserve to know. Has it actually been effected? How many young Nigerians are actually enrolled into this scheme? Now,
the youth investments program that the government launched immediately after the EndSARS it's a transparent process. But you see, the fund is not enough to fund a lot of viable projects and business. We need to be sincere. That is the challenge of Nigerian government. Somebody with a good idea, since it's a broad-based project, they give you what cannot even begin the project. So a lot of people that get the money tends to squander it. What they should have done was to collaborate with the local government. it's important. They collaborate with the local government and identify some viable entrepreneurships in their domains, and then find how to fund it directly. That will solve a lot of problems. It doesn't matter. Take for instance, you go to Amak. In Amak, you can build maybe like 10 rice mills under the supervision of local governments and let the people come and mill their rice there. Go to Ogoni and you can build an ICT center, a hub, where everybody can access free internet to develop their software. You see, the approach we are taking, the government sometimes bring money, sometimes they want to support, but the approach they are taking will not make it go round and to not make it viable for the youth to have a genuine project out of it. That is the challenge with that the youth investment program.
Now, Mr. John, there's something disturbing. Quickly, there was a statement from the Minister for Information, Lai Mohammed. He said that nobody was shot during the NSAS protest and there was no family that came out to actually follow up or sue government or say something about their children or their wards being killed. How true is that?
First of all, that statement is not true. It is not true. We need to tell ourselves the truth. A lot of people were killed on 20 at Lekki Tollgate. That's number one. Number two, up to now, we have not even know who deployed the military that went there. So if Nigerian military went to that place, which the military themselves agree, and under our constitution, is only the CNC that can deploy the military, and up to today, the CNC has not agreed to Nigeria that look, I deployed it. So there's conflicting of interest there. That is not a true statement. A lot of people, a lot of families are out crying. A lot of people are saying, even at the Lagos State Panel of Inquiry, a lot of people are there. As the Minister of Information, has he been to the panel before they rounded up their work? That's not a true statement. It's not everywhere we start to defend our thing. The deal has been done. What we need now is healing. The minister should not provoke Nigerians. That is not the true statement.
Now, quickly, time is not on our side. We have a lot to talk about. Now, you being a young Nigerian, now what stigma has that NSAS aftermath left in the minds of young Nigerians?
A lot. The sad thing about the protest was the event of the 20th of October, the killing, and not just that killing in Lagos. There were also killing in Abuja that people don't know. Hoodlums were attacked protesters in Abuja. Okay, now why this was ongoing? Some sections of Nigerians who think it's against the government were categorizing the protesters and the youth as being fraudsters, as criminals that the SARS were fighting. And up to today, they are still saying that the work of SARS was legitimate, that the NSAS protest has now chased the SARS away and brought in criminals. So the youth are suffering over that protest up to today. That if there are major crimes activities now that is ongoing, they will now make a reference to say, oh, but you stop SARS from operating. But it's SARS police. We have police, conventional police, who have to do their work. They went SS and we say we don't want the work. So why can't they resort to a good work that they employed and paid to do?
I actually I now understand totally what you're saying about the local government. They have the executive arms, they have everything.
Yes.
At the same time, we could also have police from the local level to the state level.
But at the same time, even presently, most secured areas within our localities today are being manned by local vigilantes, being paid by local government. They are squeezing themselves. In fact, in some areas within this federal capital territory that we are, the safest place is where the street arrange their own vigilante. So, and the local government is ready. They are ready to put up local security. They know who comes in their place. They know who goes out.
They know each other.
They know each other, but they don't have the capacity. Okay, they don't have the funding. They don't have leaders. Most of the time, the governors just choose his tool, whomever he likes to put there. He can bring somebody from. In fact, in most cases, in some local governments in Nigeria, they don't still have chairman. What they have is the director of local government,
or
caretaker, who does not have anything to do with the people.
Now, time is not on our side. Mr. John, quickly, can you give us a word of encouragement to the youths before we round up the show quickly?
To all the young people in Nigeria, this is our country. There was a time in this country that when you finish school, you get a job immediately.
And a vehicle.
And you get a vehicle. You get means of comfortability to life. So don't lose hope. We will restore Nigeria. We will reclaim Nigeria. What you need to do in all your places, anywhere you are, please begin to participate in politics. Don't fold your arm. Don't support those who believe in thuggery. Don't support those who believe that it is when they give you money that you will support them. Support the agenda that will promote Nigeria. That is how to reclaim our nation, and we'll reclaim it.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Edmond, for your time. And
John,
continue the good job that you're doing. I'm actually impressed. If you can have more of your type in Nigeria, I think a lot of information will be passed across. And I'm sorry to say this, you know, we have the National Rotation Agency, the ministry, and other parastatals. I think they need to effect a lot to get young Nigerians informed.
Yes, they need to go out. They need to, in fact, National Rotation Agency, it's actually a sad story. It's a sad story.
Because while growing up, I sometimes I hear information come around, outbreak of diseases, what you need to do, information and posters, but now we don't see them again.
We don't even know whether they still exist.
All right, if you're just tuning in, this is Viewer Pulse, and we've been discussing the aftermath of EndSARS 2020, and I've been discussing this with Mr. John Edmond. It has been Desmond, I beg your pardon. It has been a wonderful time with him, and do keep a date with me and keep enjoying the rest of our programs. And bye for now.